If you're new to Deception Bytes, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go. All right, guys, it's Tuesday, April 23rd. Well, not for long, but it is still for another half hour, and it's 11:28 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, I know you were thinking she's not going to post tonight. I know she's not, but you're wrong. I am going to post tonight. Now, it's not going to be a long post because I'll tell you, I've had technical problems today. I've had technical problems with hair on them. So, I got everything switched over to my new computer, which I absolutely love. And, I was all ready to go actually. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I don't have the program that I record this on my new computer. So I thought, well, that'll just take me a second. Wrong. Now, certainly installing it did only take a second, but then for some odd reason it would not work with this new computer. And it had to do, after several hours, I was able to figure out that it had to do with the graphics card. So anyway, I've got it fixed. I believe that everything is set up the way that it should be. You guys can let me know if you notice anything different. Perhaps it's something I can fix, hopefully, and perhaps it isn't, but I'll do my very best. Anyway, there is no Q post for today. But I do want to go over a little bit of Q-related news. Now, I'm not going to be long with this video tonight, and I do apologize for that. But I literally did not expect that, it would be 11:30 at night by the time I figured out how to run this program on this computer. But that it's only a one-time thing because now it's set up and I don't have to worry about that again, and I'm all set to go with the new computer, and I am loving it. I hope you guys notice a difference. I don't know, maybe you will, maybe you won't, but you certainly will probably notice a difference down the road because I do want to be able to do some different types of videos, maybe some teaching videos and so forth on different things that are related, things that I think that you would be interested in. But I didn't have the ability to do that on my other computer because it just didn't have the juice to do it. And I got very frustrated. I had bought that one as a replacement because I had a very good computer, and I fell asleep and it fell from my lap when I was sleeping and the motherboard cracked. So I replaced it with just something that would do for the time. And so now I have a computer that actually has the juice to do the stuff I want to do. So anyway, I'll stop chatting and get into the news. All right, let's start up here. I wanted to show you this meme. The Mueller report should read, Trump attempted to obstruct our coup. Yes, he didn't attempt to obstruct our coup. Actually, he did obstruct their coup. He pretty much stopped it in its tracks. Now, there's still, some of them just haven't got it through their heads yet that they've lost. But, I think that probably it'll dawn on them shortly, I hope, because I'm really getting sick of, there's a few of them I'm getting sick of. Maxine Waters, Pelosi, and Hillary. Yeah, pretty much. All right, now let's, and forgive me because things are, when you get a new computer, it's a little bit stiff, so I'm not used to, I still need to get used to it. All right, now just in, Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey to hold closed-door meeting with President Trump, that according to Vice, and now that meeting has already taken place. It took place today. I actually, when I saw this, I thought, I don't know, really? And then I felt better when I saw that Press Secretary Sarah Sanders confirmed it, that President Trump met today with Twitter CEO Dorsey. And also we have down here from CNN, gotta love CNN, I don't. The president met with Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey hours after Trump erroneously accused the company of discriminating against conservative users. Well, I don't know how erroneous it was. that accusation. Sounds pretty accurate to me. That's exactly what they do. They discriminate against conservative users, they discriminate against Christians, definitely, and they discriminate against Trump supporters, for definite sure. So, yeah, nothing erroneous about that. That's the truth. But you know how CNN, I don't know, like really, they can't ever tell the whole truth. You know, they always have to slip something in there that's not true. They have to. Because I think if CNN told the entire truth, that the earth might stop rotating and careen off into the sun and we'd all die. I don't know. But it seems like it's never happened in my lifetime. Don't know if it ever will. Yeah, so not so erroneous, the accusation there. And I hope that something was accomplished in that meeting. I really do, because I can't see Trump playing around. You know, he's not somebody I'd want to be on the bad side of, really. And I think honestly, what they're doing is illegal. It has to be, because it's censorship. It's, you know, we do not have free speech on social platforms. We don't, not anymore. All right, now I think you will be interested in seeing this. I know you will be, if you haven't already. Battleground Florida, Soros-funded groups work to register 1.4 million ex-felons ahead of 2020. They're really, really, really needing to win in 2020, and they will not stop at anything to do it. I think they realize that if Trump gets in for another 4 years, their goose is, well, it's more than cooked. It's burnt. So progressive organizations, many financed by billionaire activist George Soros, are working overtime to restore voting rights for Florida's nearly 1.4 million ex-felons, as the nation's biggest swing state seems poised to play a pivotal electoral role in the 2020 presidential race. The current battle revolves around a Florida state amendment that was passed last year, restoring voting rights for felons, with progressive groups opposing a local bill that would require the state's ex-felons to first pay civil fines and court fees before registering to vote. Florida's Amendment 4 was approved by voters during last year's midterm election. The heavily Soros-funded American Civil Liberties Union and Brennan Center for Justice, based in New York, both served as consultants in drafting Amendment 4. Soros Open Society Foundation donated $50 million to the ACLU. The Brennan Center has been the recipient of numerous grants from Soros Open Society Foundations, totaling over $7,466,000 from 2000 to 2000 alone. What I don't understand, and I don't, Soros is living in America, and I just don't understand how he is able to, he hates America. He has said so himself. I just don't understand how he is able to get away with undermining our democracy. I really don't. But anyway, I'm not going to read the rest of that, and I think it's not a surprise to anyone. I know that it isn't, but it frustrates me, because I don't understand how this can be allowed to continue with Soros. I mean, he's continually funding anti-American activities. Tomato juice. It's good stuff. All right. And this from Donald J. Trump. Great meeting this afternoon at the White House with Jack from Twitter. Lots of subjects discussed regarding their platform and the world of social media in general. Look forward to keeping an open dialogue. Well, we look forward to him keeping an open dialogue as well with Jack Dorsey. Absolutely. Because we are certainly wanting change there. All right, and then down to this, Donald Trump Jr. Replying to Time, and their tweet said, I think there's enough there that any person who had engaged in those acts would certainly have been indicted. And that was quoting Hillary Clinton, Hildebeest, on whether Donald Trump obstructed justice or not at the Time 100 summit. And it's interesting because she put out a tweet today that said, Hillary, that, invited people to come and listen to her speak at this, online at this Time 100 summit. And I replied that I would rather jump into a pit of razor blades. Yes, I would. Anyway, Donald Trump Jr. responds to that and says it's her total lack of self-awareness after BleachBit and hammering iPhones under subpoena obstruction why Hillary was the worst candidate in the history of the presidency. Well, one of many reasons. I'm so thankful she's not leading this country and never will. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed on that. Yeah, that would be catastrophic indeed. Now, I saw this, and I wanted to show this to you guys because they're sending this out to teenagers across the country. And I think well, even if you don't have teenagers, it should concern you. It should concern you. So let's take a look at this. This is how hard they're fighting, the Democrats. They're sending this out to teenagers. Yeah, not their parents. It's addressed to the teens. Sure is. Now, this is what it says. And some mother had put this online and said, this is what they're sending out. And this is the time, of course, where, kids are applying to colleges and waiting back to hear back from their colleges to see if they've gotten in for the next year or whatever. So it's interesting the timing on that as well. So excuse me. It says stick it to Trump, and then there's this little sticker. It says I'm a sticker, peel me here. Let me make this bigger for you. And it's got a little peach with Trump hair on it. Yes, I'm a sticker, peel me here. And it says impeach, needtoimpeach.com. And up here it says stick it to Trump and support impeachment. Stick me on your laptop, reusable water bottle, notebook, bike, or anywhere you want to show your support for impeachment. Share a photo of your sticker with hashtag stick it to Trump. And they're at their Twitter account is Need to Impeach, and they're on Facebook, Need to Impeach, and Instagram at Need to Impeach. And then it shows, here, this is going to San Francisco, and obviously this person has blacked out their address, but yeah, they're mailing it to teenagers. Yes, that's right, teenagers, so that they can stick this wherever it's visible and it will influence other teenagers, because we know we were teens once, all of us, and what one does tends to spread to others, especially if they've all got them. Yeah, they'll be wanting theirs. Yep. Pretty wild, isn't it? I was, I will say I was shocked about that. I always say, well, that's not shocking. Well, that is shocking. I don't know. When you start targeting teens, yeah, that's pretty low. All right, now, whoops, hang on here. I'll get the hang of this. Okay, wow, Hillary Clinton discusses roadmap to impeachment, says Trump should have been indicted by Mueller probe. Right. She has a lot of nerve, doesn't she? Seriously. And I'll tell you right now, I know that this is so weird, like people saying, oh, there's Hillary doubles or whatever. But this woman looks too good to be Hillary. I don't know. It just seems to me that every time I see Hillary, she looks different. Like one time she looks really, really old and haggard, and next time she looks like she's had a facelift and, she's 20 years younger and, 30 pounds slimmer. I don't know what's going on there, but it's weird. Anyway, let it go, Hillary. On Tuesday, Hillary Clinton spoke at the Time 100 conference of top celebrities for the year. Yeah, she was a top celebrity for the year. What's this country coming to? My gosh, I can't make this work. Okay. Let it go, Hillary, on Tuesday. Okay, she spoke at the conference. Hillary Clinton spoke briefly about the Mueller report during her remarks. Hillary Clinton, I'm really of the mind that the Mueller report is part of the beginning because there's still so much more that we should know and that we should act upon. Oh, that's true, Hillary Clinton. There is so much more we need to know and act upon. Oh, you're right about that. And we're a long way from knowing. Oh, yeah. Well, probably not so far from knowing, Hillary. Not about you, because we need to get the full report, the unredacted version. Yeah. So there you go with the Hildebeest. And Hillary then commented about the roadmap to impeachment. Hillary Clinton's actions that undermine the integrity of our government. Gee, is she talking to herself or is she talking about Trump? It's hard to tell, isn't it? That place the personal or political interests of a president over the interests of the nation, and in so doing, we were able to make a case that was accepted by the Judiciary Committee that then voted out articles of impeachment on a bipartisan basis. So I know what it looks like, and I know what is required to do it in a way that wins the trust of not only the Congress, but of the American people. But I certainly think that the roadmap, that some call it, where does it continue? It doesn't. It just leaves off there in the middle of a sentence. It does. It really does. Anyway, yeah, so can you believe that? This is the person, this is the Hillary Clinton of Benghazi fame. The person that bleach bit the computers and sold uranium to the Russians. Yeah, it's her. And she's talking about integrity. Stunning, isn't it? Absolutely stunning. All right. Let's go on. Okay. Oh, and look at this. Looky here. Looky here. Harris, as in Kamala Harris. If Congress doesn't take action on gun control, I will take executive action as president. Well, that's a reason. That's probably the reason you'll never be president. Yeah, that's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. I cannot see anybody. I mean, I shouldn't say that because anything is possible, but I think anyone would have a massive fight on their hands to get guns out of the hands of Americans, because America and guns, they're like this, and it's the way it is. And, they take our guns, we won't be free. That's for sure. All right, let's go on. And, oh, looky here. All right. Once again, Judicial Watch is doing the heavy lifting. Conservative watchdog group Judicial Watch announced Tuesday that Bill Presap, Assistant Director of the FBI Counterintelligence Division, admitted in writing and under oath that the FBI found Hillary Clinton's emails in the Obama White House, specifically the executive office of the president. The FBI also admitted that almost 49,000 Hillary Clinton emails were reviewed as a result of a search warrant for the emails found on Anthony Weiner's laptop. Thanks to Judicial Watch, in January, a federal court ordered discovery on Hillary Clinton's emails and Benghazi scandal. Judge Royce Lamberth ordered top Obama and Hillary officials such as Susan Rice, Ben Rhodes, and other state and FBI officials to answer Judicial Watch's questions under oath. Judge Lambert said Hillary Clinton's private email system was one of the gravest modern offenses to government transparency. Via Judicial Watch, PRESAP was asked by Judicial Watch to identify representatives of Hillary Clinton, her former staff, and government agencies from which email repositories were obtained. PRESAP responded with the following non-exhaustive list. Brian Pagliano, Cheryl Mills, Executive Office of the President, Heather Samuelson, Jacob Sullivan, Justin Cooper, United States Department of State, United States Secret Service, Williams and Connolly, LLP. PRESAP also testified that 48,982 emails were received as a result of a warrant for Clinton's email account information from the laptop of Anthony Weiner, who had been married to top Clinton aide Huma Abedin. A complete list of Bill PRESAP's why can't I say this word? I don't know what it is. At night, I used to have a speech impediment when I was younger, and when I'm really tired, usually when I'm really tired, it comes out. Can be read here. Recall, PRESAP helped oversee the Hillary Clinton email investigation and made sure she was exonerated, then migrated over to the 2016 counter-intel investigation into the Trump campaign. This astonishing confirmation made under oath by the FBI shows that Obama FBI had to go to President Obama's White House office to find emails that Hillary Clinton tried to destroy or hide from the American people, said Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton. No wonder Hillary Clinton has thus far skated. Barack Obama is implicated in her email scheme. Yeah. Wasn't this the woman that was just talking about integrity? Yeah. I wonder if she actually knows what integrity means, like the definition of it. Or maybe she's just a hypocrite. I think it's probably the latter. All right. This astonishing confirmation made under oath by the FBI shows that Obama FBI had to go to President Obama's White House office to find emails that Hillary Clinton tried to destroy or hide from the American people. And this is the tweet by Tom Fitton, who does amazing work. And you know what? We wouldn't have nearly the information that we have without him and his efforts. So, yeah, very thankful to his work. Now, let's go back and let's look at this. Oops, not that, this. Now, Tom Fitton, this astonishing confirmation made under oath by the FBI shows that the Obama, okay, that's what we just read, right? Now, this is Dr. Dave Janda responding. He said, let's not forget the FBI previously identified that Obama used a pseudonym to communicate with Hillary over her illegal server, a violation of the Espionage Act by both Obama and Clinton. Yeah, integrity. Yeah, she's one to really talk about that. Mm-hmm. Yep. Now, here we go. This is what we were talking about later. This is a quote by George Soros. I'm telling you, he could hide entire colonies of people in those Samsonite luggage under his eyes. But anyway, I've made my life's mission to destroy the United States. That's right. You heard that right. I've made my life's mission to destroy the United States. I hate this country, and I hate all of the people in it. George Soros. That's a quote from Newsweek, 1979. How do you like that? Yeah, George Soros hates you. You're American, he hates you. Hates the country, hates everyone in it. So if you're in America, George Soros hates you. I mean, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, personally. I really don't care. All right, now let's go on here and let's take a look at this real quickly. I'm sure you have heard this already, but in case you have not. And again, there's no surprise here. Grief, anger, and recriminations in Sri Lanka as ISIS claims it staged bomb attacks. I don't think any of us are surprised by that. Now, I'm not going to go through and read all of this, but I did want you to know, if you haven't heard, that ISIS has claimed responsibility. And now, whether they are, in fact, responsible or not, who knows? They may be claiming responsibility because they want people to think that they're still this big entity out there, or they could actually have done it. But whoever did it, it was unconscionable. It's, you know, it's, I used to think that, you know, places like the United States, Canada, there were certain places that, you know, terrorism just didn't happen there. I used to think that before, you know, before 9/11. You'd think, nah, nothing bad's going to happen here. I wouldn't have believed it. But now it can happen to anyone at any time because there's no rhyme or reason to it. That's why it causes terror. You know, you don't know when it's going to strike or where it's going to strike. All right, let's go on. Now, I think you'll find this interesting as well. Leftists demand eliminating all Christian crosses from public view, claiming it triggers them. Political correctness is now equivalent to Satanism. Now, the Antichrist spirit is alive and well in Italy, where a local cemetery in the tiny town of, I don't think I can pronounce this, located just north of Bologna, wants to cover all graves bearing crosses and other Christian imagery with black cloths in order to avoid offending people of other religions, including the area's small but growing population of Muslims. Reports indicate that all Roman Catholic symbols are potentially on the chopping block at the cemetery, the apparent goal being to test run the eradication of traditional religion in the largely Catholic country. If brought to bear, the plan will also entail using motorized blackout curtains to hide all traces of Catholicism from view during ceremonies involving other religions. With the excuse of respect for others, they lack respect for our Catholic culture and our traditions, says George Maloney, leader of Brothers of Italy, pointing out how ludicrous it is to force an entire population to whitewash its culture in order to appease the whims of a very small, non-native minority. Now the left is beyond fanaticism. This is ideological delirium. Yeah. Unbelievable. It's happening. It's happening. And if it can happen there, it can happen here. It's interesting because years ago, now this was before, well, I can't remember. Well, no, it was when I was in university, actually. And they always had Canada Day celebrations down at the, by the water, because it was on Lake Ontario. Kingston, Ontario is right by, on the lake there. And it's very close to the border. So a lot of Americans come over for Canadian holidays, and there's always, all summer long, there's a huge influx of Americans in this area, this whole area, because it's a tourist area, and very beautiful. But on that day, they chose, because they didn't want to offend the American visitors. They didn't want to offend them. So they played the American anthem on Canada Day now. Canada Day. They played the American anthem first, and then they played the Canadian anthem. Now, you take that and reverse it. And say there was a lot of Canadians visiting a certain area, and you were having the 4th of July celebrations, and you decided, well, let's play the Canadian national anthem instead. Let's play that one first, then we'll play our own. How would that go over? Not well. So, yeah, like, talk about, and you're talking about the same thing. There's a small group of people there. You don't want to offend them. So the whole country has to change. Whole country. It's crazy. All right. Now, let's go on, see what else we, oh, and, yeah. This, too, is another one of those things that make you go, Hang on here. Yeah. Mike Cernovich says Christianity to blame for America's problems. Says we need Islam. Okay. As I'm writing this, I can't even believe what I just witnessed, said by Mike Cernovich on Twitter. We wrote a few days ago about talking about how he and Ann Coulter were off the Trump train for good. Now it appears Cernovich may be finished. He literally just said Christianity has given us a country where 11-year-olds dance for adult men who throw dollars on the stage. He went on to add Christianity gave us a church that molested children and sold out their flock, Covington, to the left. However, the most insane and idiotic statement he made in one tweet is this: a moderated form of Islam is probably the West's only hope. So, let's go on. All right. And I can't remember what this is, but I bet you it's something good. It's got to be something good. Oh, yes, 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 it is something good. This is really, really fascinating. All right, 50 GoFundMe accounts all set up with a 501c3, giving them tax-free status, right, as a charity or whatever, out of New York. So there's been 50 GoFundMe accounts all set up with 501c3 status out of New York, funnel tax-free cash from the USA to France. 501c3 was set up long before the Notre Dame fire. The more you know. Yeah, so these 50 GoFundMe accounts, they're set up with as 501c3s, so you can make a donation to them and get a tax, receipt for it. Now, isn't that interesting? Because they're, giving cash to France towards the remodeling or the rebuilding of Notre Dame. But these 501c3s were set up before the fire. How do you explain that? No, really. How do you explain that? I'd like to know. I bet you'd like to know too. I bet any money you'd like to know. Yeah, me too. No, nothing suspicious about that, is there? No, nothing. Yeah. So, French Heritage Society is devastated by the images of Notre Dame Cathedral aflame and stands with so many around the world in sympathy and support. Protecting the architectural legacy of France is at the very heart of our mission, and we must provide whatever aid we can to this cherished monument. In time of dire need, we have established a Notre Dame Fire Restoration Fund to allow those whose thoughts are with Paris to take immediate action to ensure that the cathedral's storied history survives. This tragedy is an urgent, let me see if it's continued here. Hang on here. This tragedy is an urgent reminder of the fragility of our rare architectural treasures and the vital work to preserve them for future generations. French Heritage Society, a 501c3 organization, has established a fund to accept donations for the restoration work that will be necessary as a result of the devastating fire at the Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris. Now, I misspoke. It isn't 50. There aren't 50, but I think that this person was actually making posts, and this is post number 50. So, yeah, but it says GoFundMe accounts, so I'm not sure. All set up with 501c3. So maybe she does mean that there is 50. Let me see here. She does very good work. Paula loves children. And yeah, she meant 50 GoFundMe accounts. So let's see what else is here that she has here as backup. Donations are tax deductible under U.S. tax laws and eligible for tax credit under French tax laws. And so when it says to donate by phone, please contact our New York office. To donate by mail, please send checks to French Heritage Society. And this gives a New York address. And Americans frequent visitors to Notre Dame begin fundraising efforts. Los Angeles, the fire that devastated Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris on Monday prompted fundraising appeals in the United States as people, horrified by the blaze, began making commitments to restore a global landmark before the flames were extinguished. So, and here, 50 campaigns. At the website GoFundMe, more than 50 campaigns related to the cathedral fire had been launched globally on Monday. John Coventry, a spokesman for GoFundMe, said by email, "In the coming hours, we'll be working with the authorities to find the best way of making sure funds get to the place where they will do the most good," Coventry said. Some of the GoFundMe campaigns had not listed any money raised by late Monday, and several joke campaigns were created through GoFundMe to help Quasimodo, the fictional character in Victor Hugo's 19th century novel, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. So, interesting. But would be a really good way to funnel cash from the U.S. to France, wouldn't it? Don't know. What do you guys think about that? Just curious. All right. Now, let's close some of this down and go back. Oh, there's where I was trying to fix my my screen there. All right. Okay, that's not where I wanted to go back to. I don't need to see me. I see me every day. Okay, now, fact. Alexandria, Occasional Cortex, tweeted about the horrific tragedy in New Zealand 14 times. She tweeted about the attack on Christians in Sri Lanka 0 times. Why? Well, let me take a guess. Yeah, I think I know. All right, now this from President Trump. "You mean the stock market hit an all-time record high today?" Which it did. "And they're actually talking impeachment? Will I ever be given credit for anything by the fake news media or radical liberal Dems? No collusion." Yeah, isn't that interesting? Stock market, all-time record high today. And all they're talking about is impeachment. Are these people crazy? Seriously. Well, they are. I mean, really. There's no other way to explain it. They're a little out there. Okay, let's go on. I had to include this now. Had to. Really, had to. All right. Ryan Saavedra, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. CNN's Brian Stelter says Trump administration officials skipping the White House Correspondents' Dinner is an attack against the media. And Lisa Mae Crowley says, "Good Lord, someone give him a pacifier." Yeah, I agree. I agree. They need to, they don't realize how ridiculous they look. I really don't think they do. But anyway, I do have a ton of other stuff, but I'm going to skip that for right now because it is late and I did not expect to be doing my taping this late at night. And sometimes I'm just full of energy at this time of night, and then other times I'm like, now the Sandman is beating the crap out of me. So anyway, I'm going to call it quits for tonight, but I did want to get something up. I didn't want you to think that I was skipping out on you again. So there you go. Thank you guys so much for listening, and let me know if you're experiencing any difficulty with the video or sound, vision, whatever. Just let me know so that I can try and fix it at my end here. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening. Stay safe, stay well, and seek truth, because you know it. Deception bites. Good night.